Welcome back. Here we are. I'm joined with Josh. Today was the Bank of Canada's rate announcement. Josh, what happened? What did Canada's bank do?
You know what? A lot of us were hoping that we'd see the Bank of Canada cut its rate, but nothing happened. That's the short
Neutral.
version. No drop,
Neutral.
no
Neutral
increase.
again.
It's just the same, and it hasn't changed since March earlier this year, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon.
Why did it stay neutral, Josh?
That really comes down to inflation. Inflation being the primary goal of the Bank of Canada to keep it low and predictable. They want to see it between 2 and 3%. And last year, when they started lowering rates, they have lowered 2.25% since June of 2024, but they stopped lowering in March. And since then, inflation has gone from around 1.5% to a bit over 2.5%. So we've actually seen upward inflation, and they want to make sure they're not stimulating that any further.
So, obviously, this sounds like it's inflationary cause. Like, what's causing the spike in inflation, or why is it raised in this short time?
We know that globally there's a lot of causes that are outside of the control of anything domestically here in Canada. But there are two big things that have been putting pressure and stress on inflation and inflationary expectations. One is the government here in Canada and governments around the world have been spending a lot of money, with government expenses this year up 4%, not even counting the interest, and the deficit ballooning 70% compared to last year. That means the government needs more money, and the more money they need to get, the higher return they need to offer on that. So we're seeing bond yields increase, which has been an impact on increasing the interest rates. The other is the unknown of what's going to happen with tariffs. Tariffs are inflationary nature, just like the carbon tax that made things more expensive. With that, if tariffs come, which they might, that would cause prices to go up, cause more inflation, but we don't really know by how much. But the threat of that has been having pressure on the fixed interest rates, and the bank is taking a wait and see approach. So they're not proactively dropping rates. They're taking a wait and see approach to see what reaction they may need to make to any tariffs that do come in effect here in August.
Okay, so that makes sense to me. Obviously, very clearly, the market is pricing in the threat of tariffs. We see some inflationary pressure, which has held us neutral. It's obviously not high enough to make it raise the rates. But going forward,
Thankfully.
what should we do? What should I do as a consumer going forward? It seems like a little bit of a unknown here.
There's always uncertainty, and the market doesn't like uncertainty. Having uncertainty is also somewhat inflationary. So if we could get some stability or some knowledge of what's going to be happening, and maybe we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. But in the meantime, if we are looking forward at how the market is projecting interest rates, they do think we're going to see a little bit lower interest rates on the variable side of things. That's what the Bank of Canada changes over the next year. But then over the coming 4 years after that, it actually looks like rates will be higher than they are today. On the fixed rate side, it looks like those rates might kind of gradually trend up, maybe 0.75% or so over the next 5 years. I would say if you're looking at something today, if a fixed interest rate is available to you that's lower than the variable, you might just like that stability, lock in close to 4% and have that for the next 5 years. You might want to avoid the 3-year terms because rates are likely going to be higher then. If you're able to take a little bit more risk and you can afford it, maybe taking the variable over the coming year might make sense, but we really have no idea what fixed rate you might be converting into down the road.
Okay, Josh, thanks for that. Obviously, everybody's situation is different. I would highly recommend and suggest that you reach out to Josh and his team, get your own personalized mortgage consult, and see what is the best option for you. Our information is all in the screen below you. Follow the links. Please reach out to us, get a hold of us if we can help you. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you next time.